Hey, it's Lucy, and today I want to talk about living countries with ADHD and autism and what's actually hard, the actual stuff. Okay, so I have notes again because you know what? It can be a lot of stuff. So I wanted to make sure that I talked about a good amount of the things. So I want to talk about executive functioning and international move planning. Mm, So just the overwhelming amount of little things has been a bit of a challenge and kind of trying to figure out the when documents are actually going to arrive versus when the website says they're going to arrive versus when they actually arrive. And I'm like, and I find that that really is been a sort of a real source of frustration. And then there's sequential planning versus the simultaneous processing. So it's like I'm always thinking about the planning, like, oh, is this gonna come in time for this? And then when do I actually buy my ticket? And when I buy my ticket now, I'm like, is it gonna line up with the e-visa and that other kind of thing? And that's been a challenge. And also breaking down massive like to-do lists. And I would say that if you're a person who like you haven't done the decluttering or anything else like that, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't have to do that aspect. But if you have to, I would say allow for like many weeks of that and do that more slowly. Because even though I only have like maybe 2 to 3 bags worth of large bags, travel size bags, the largest suitcases of things. Um, I still find myself in the middle of the night being like, okay, should I swap out this for that? If I pack, 2 shampoo bottles, how much is it going to weigh? Just the small things, like adding everything up. Um, and so there's that. Uh, in terms of like more to-do list things, gosh, there's just, hmm, I feel like right now, since I'm kind of like at the end stages, like I almost have all of my documentation. It's a matter of like when I want to go on the website, probably today actually, and get one of the e-visas started. So I'm gonna do two because I have enough time here still to where even though it takes 5 days to process, I can turn around and have another one processed. So I can just go ahead and stay 6 months straight away and I don't have to I really have time to. So and so that's a good thing. And in terms of managing the paperwork and deadlines, this has been the most challenging thing. Um, and now that's crossing my mind. I'm thinking of maybe making a more visual timeline because I've just been depending on. Um, I know it's going to sound strange, but I have a calendar, and it has like a weekly section, has day by day section, has hourly. But I feel like I need like more colors in it, or maybe that's what I need. I think for myself and also for you, I'm thinking that the month view is going to be like super helpful. And also writing it in pencil, if you have colored pencils, like erasable, do that because when the timelines move or something, you don't get a piece of documentation, you can just erase that and then start moving things back accordingly. Uh, let's see what else. Oh, the ADHD time blindness versus visa timelines. So I think I have this one. I think I have this one dialed in. Like I said, today I do one of the one of the e-visas for Vietnam, and like I said, that should take 5 business days at max is what I've heard. Now again, also it's like what I've heard about versus like what's actually going to happen is like you don't even know. And I think that my autistic brain about the I don't even know is that part of me just be stressed. That part of my brain is just like, but it says 5 days or it says 5 days, and I got to try really, really hard not to be so regimented structured with the thing that's on the website. Like I think that's one of the things I learned, but still hard to let go of. Um, I've learned in Mexico is like you got to be more flexible, and also it's still challenging because autism. It says it doesn't happen, and I'm like Um, so there's that informational one. Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. Like I've done so much research because yay, the autistic brain part of me, it's like, yay, research all the information. But then an ADHD side is like, oh no, it's like wait, it's way too much. Um, and so that too much research, it has been a slight bit of paralysis, and I caught myself doing a little bit of research, yes, just last night because I was looking at housing and I was looking at the ban and then I started looking at Ho Chi Minh City. That was bad. That was bad. I started looking at Ho Chi Minh City because it's like, oh well, what if there's not, all of the things to do? Because Ho Chi Minh City is, the big city. It's gonna um there might more fun things to do maybe because Da Nang is beach town and I'm like, well, how beach is it? Like beachy like Playa del Carmen, like really like feeling smallish in comparison to like really bustling like a Mexico City kind of big city like Da Nang versus Ho Chi Minh. I Ho Chi Minh City, like I don't know. I feel like I have to for myself, I have to go and get the energy of the place and see what opportunities I would like to get into. Maybe Denang has all the things I want. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. But at this point, I think I decided to just sit down and it's beach. I know at least for a few weeks it'll be beach relaxes me, calms my nervous system. That'll be good. It'll be great. At least that part. So I can stop researching about that thing, about that aspect of things. Um, another thing is missing obvious important things. Like, have I done that? Yes, because I I didn't, I thought at my appointment here for getting a driver's license, it would just be able to look up my other license in another state. And so I brought my expired version of my license with me. And I'm like, oh, well, you can't look it up. And even if we could, we couldn't trade it because we need your actual physical unexpired license to trade, physically trade, in order to get you a license here. And I was like, oh no, I waited all this time for this appointment and I can't do what I need to do. That was like really big long on that one. Um, gosh, how to manage research without drowning. I, to be honest, at the beginning, pretty much failed at that. I did like everything in my power not to be super snippy with and short with people because I was feeling really stressed about that. At first, I still have to remember to not be extra like snippy with folks now, even when I'm like because it's like now it's not stress about the literal documentation so much anymore. So now it's more of what am I going to pack? What can I pack? What's the weight going to be? It's a different kind of stress that I'm dealing with now. So trying to get that to, I'm like using all of my self care, all of my meditation, everything in order to reduce the amount of stress I feel. And in that way, I'm from those things. So that's what I'm managing. And gosh, the object permanence thing. So, say like out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so how I conquer that so far is I literally put all of my documents in one part of my backpack. The documents that I need only go like right there. And so that's how I wind up keeping track of everything and not having everything scattered around and losing things. So that's how I'm managing that. Um, in my system for tracking everything is my calendar. So that's how I do that. Um, is there anything else? I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about sensory issues and sensory considerations in moving countries because that's super important as far as neurospicy folks to consider. Um, so yeah, that'll be a shorter video tomorrow, but I don't know, maybe not. It depends um, on what I can think of. It. I'm going to do my notes one last time to make sure that you have good information, good thoughts on managing information. We talked about that. Talked about executive functioning and international route planning. Talked about that. So yeah, that really goes into the preparation and planning challenges. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you two are um, doing your moving abroad in the process of moving abroad for your first time and moving abroad again because you came back to get whatever you needed from the United States or see family or whatever. I hope that helped a bit. But yeah, if you have questions, put in the comments, say hi, like, subscribe, stay on this journey with me of getting back abroad, going over to Asia this time. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you. Okay. Aloha.